The world likes to repeat the mantra. Men and women are the same. There is no difference. Any talk of distinction is bigotry. You are told to shut up and swallow the new gospel, even when every bone in your body screams the opposite. But every day you see it. You feel it when you try to speak your truth and get shouted down. You sense it in relationships, when you are expected to carry the weight, to decide, to guide, to protect, and when she collapses into tears, the world blames you for not understanding her needs. Yet, what do you see from women? A demand for validation, for comfort, for guidance, a desperate craving for meaning that always seems to be borrowed from the nearest man, or the nearest ideology, or the next trending cause. Otto Weininger saw it before you were born, and his diagnosis was brutal. Woman, at her core, is nothing. She is defined only by man. She has no soul of her own. You might recoil at that line. You might want to reject it out of reflex, conditioned by decades of propaganda. But look closer. See the world as it is, not as you are told it should be. If you want to understand the chaos of relationships, the confusion of gender, the crisis of meaning, you must be willing to stare into the abyss that Weininger exposed. Let's get clear. Weininger is not saying women are worthless, not human, not alive. He is saying something deeper, something about spirit, about consciousness, about what it means to possess a soul, a center, a will. He wrote, "The woman has no ego, no real self, no ability to stand apart from the crowd or from the man who defines her. She is not a subject, she is an object, always seen, never seeing, always reflecting, never creating." When you look at the behavior of women throughout history and into the modern age, you see it. A chameleon-like ability to blend into any culture, adopt any belief, mimic any value system, so long as it secures her place, her safety, her comfort. But ask her to define herself without reference to others, to state her core principles, her immortal truth, her own law. You are met with emptiness, shifting emotions, borrowed slogans, a fog of feelings. Woman as nothing means, no inner law, no true self, no soul she can call her own. Today, more than ever, society worships women. You are told to put her on a pedestal, to center her feelings, to bow before her every mood. She is goddess, queen, boss. She can do no wrong. But what is beneath the idol's mask? A constant need for validation, a terror of being alone, a horror of responsibility. She lives on likes, on followers, on the approval of men, of friends, of trends. Strip all that away, and what remains? Weininger answers, nothing. The modern woman is a blank canvas. She paints herself with whatever is in fashion, whatever brings attention, whatever fills the void. You see it in every Instagram pose, every OnlyFans hustle, every tearful TikTok confession. You see it in politics, in spirituality, in relationships. Always a mask, never a soul. At the heart of Weininger's critique is the idea that woman has no original principle. She cannot generate meaning. She cannot set the law. She cannot build worlds. What does she do? She reflects. She mirrors the values of the man she is with, the culture she is in, the authority she wants to please. This is why women shift their opinions, beliefs, even their personalities depending on who they're with. One day she is spiritual, the next she is a boss, the next she is a victim, the next she is a rebel. But never from her own inner necessity, always from external pressure. She is not the artist, she is the canvas. She is not the lawgiver, she is the law's subject. Why does this matter? Because a society built on mimicry, on reflection without creation, is doomed to decay. If men do not set the direction, if men do not build, if men do not lead, then everything collapses into chaos and confusion. Weininger saw the feminine terror of solitude as proof of her nothingness. A man can stand alone, face himself, wrestle with his conscience, build his own world from nothing. A woman, left alone, is lost. She rushes to fill the void, with friends, with lovers, with pets, with shopping, with endless chatter, with any distraction that keeps her from facing the empty center. This is why she clings to relationships, why she always wants more attention, why she cannot go a day without drama. Alone, she is confronted by the terrifying truth. She is undefined. She is a shell waiting for content. Men, on the other hand, are forced to forge their own souls through hardship, through solitude, through struggle. That is why men create civilizations and women decorate them. Men write the law, women obey it. Men build, women dwell. If woman is nothing, if she has no core of her own, then she can only define herself in relation to a man. This is why she tests you, why she tries to dominate you, to control you, to make you orbit around her emotions. She needs you to be the center, the axis, the law. But if you refuse, if you abdicate, she will devour you, force you to become the nothing she cannot bear to face. This is why weak men are destroyed by women. They become her plaything, her emotional pet, her therapist, her doormat. She feeds on his energy, his ambition, his will. He gives, she takes. He empties, she fills. But if you stand your ground, if you set the law, draw the line, force her to submit to your vision, she finds herself. She feels safe. She can finally rest. Because in truth, she is looking for a master, not an equal. She is looking for a soul to orbit, not to be her own star. In every age, women flock to whatever spirituality is fashionable. Yoga, crystals, astrology, New Age, feminine energy, whatever sells. But what is always missing? Discipline, structure, sacrifice. Real spirituality is the struggle of the soul against chaos. It is self-overcoming. It is the search for meaning beyond comfort. Women use spirituality as decoration, as therapy, as social proof. Rarely do you find a woman seeking truth for its own sake. She does not want transformation. She wants affirmation. She does not want to lose herself. She wants to feel better about herself. Weininger saw this as proof. Female spirituality is imitation, not initiation. It is a search for comfort, not for God. If women cannot create meaning, if they only reflect, then men bear the burden of creation. When men abdicate, when they lose their mission, when they let women set the rules, everything collapses. You see it everywhere. The decline of art, of religion, of civilization. A world obsessed with feelings, with surface, with comfort, with endless talk of safe spaces. Men are shamed for their ambition, their strength, their willingness to fight. But without that, there is nothing left but the void. Society tells you, don't be toxic, don't lead, don't build, just serve. The result? Chaos, decay, endless drift. You are not here to serve the void. You are here to fill it. You are told the modern woman is strong, independent, empowered. But what do you see? Brittle egos, constant outrage, endless demand for validation. Strip away the system's support. Affirmative action, family court, social media likes, endless sympathy. And what remains? Nothing. A shell, a performance. Strength is tested by solitude, by suffering, by sacrifice, not by hashtags, not by victimhood, not by attention. The strong woman is strong only as long as she is propped up by men, by law, by society. Let her stand alone and she crumbles. That is not strength. That is dependence masquerading as power. Modern feminism promises empowerment, but delivers victimhood. The more women are empowered, the more they complain, the more they blame, the more they demand protection. They want all the rights of men, none of the responsibilities. All the rewards of achievement, none of the risk. This is not equality. This is parasitism. Weininger's thesis explains it. She cannot define herself. She cannot set her own law. So she must find oppression, must find an enemy, must demand a new master. The empowered woman is always on the verge of collapse, waiting for the next crisis, the next outrage, the next excuse to play the victim. Men must see through the game, refuse to play. While women chase emptiness, men betray their own souls. You are told to respect women, to support her dreams, to never judge. You become the cheerleader, the therapist, the emotional mule. You sacrifice your vision, your mission, your truth for her feelings. You become a shadow of yourself, a servant to the void. This is why so many men are lost, depressed, angry, addicted. You have forgotten who you are. You have forgotten your role, builder, lawgiver, creator. You are not here to serve nothingness. You are here to fill it with meaning. The system says, strong women, sensitive men. But all it creates is chaos. Weak men abdicate responsibility, become passive, become feminized. Strong women become tyrants, angry, brittle, unfulfilled. The truth is this: women crave the strength of a man who does not bow, who does not apologize, who does not need her approval. When you give up your power, she despises you. When you hold your power, she tests you, but she respects you. Society wants you broken so that she can feel strong. But real strength cannot be borrowed. Real meaning cannot be given. It must be earned. Weininger's most controversial thesis is this: woman has no soul, not in the sense of an inner, unchangeable law. She must borrow her soul from a man, from her father, her lover, her guru, her ideology. That is why she is so easily swayed, so quickly changes her beliefs, so desperately seeks connection. Left to herself, she is formless, drifting, haunted by emptiness. She craves the presence of a man who stands rooted, who draws her into his world, who gives her the law she cannot find within herself. If you understand this, you understand everything about love, about marriage, about power. She does not want an equal. She wants a guide. She cannot lead herself. When men refuse to lead, when women are left to define reality, chaos erupts. Rules are based on feelings, not on truth. Decisions are based on mood, not on law. Politics becomes performance. Spirituality becomes a game. Morality becomes a joke. You see it everywhere. Weak men apologizing, strong women demanding, no one building. The world crumbles. Unchecked feminine power is not creative, but destructive. It turns everything to mush, to confusion, to nothingness. Men must reclaim the center, or there will be nothing left to save. Weininger's brutal insight is this: if woman is nothing, if she cannot set the law, then men must do it, or no one will. You must reclaim your authority, not by force, not by violence, but by presence, by vision, by refusal to bow. Set your law, draw your line, lead without apology. You must be willing to stand alone, to be hated, to be attacked. Only then will she respect you. Only then will you create order out of chaos. Do not ask for permission. Do not seek her validation. Define reality. She will follow. A single man can build a house. A brotherhood can build a civilization. Men must come together, not to compete, but to create, to enforce the law, to set the standard. Women will always test the boundaries, always seek to soften the law, always try to pull you back into comfort. It is your job, as men, to resist, to defend what you build, to hold each other accountable, to honor the soul you forged together. Weininger saw that all great cultures are born from masculine unity, not feminine chaos. Find your brothers, build together. Weininger is not all condemnation. He admits that woman's emptiness is her genius. She can receive. She can be filled. She can nurture what a man plants, support what a man builds, amplify what a man envisions, but only if she submits, only if she recognizes her place, not as lawgiver, but as law receiver. A woman who rebels against her own nature becomes bitter, lost, hysterical. A woman who accepts it becomes peace, beauty, support. Her emptiness is not a curse, but a calling to be filled with meaning, with spirit, with masculine order. If woman cannot initiate herself, if she is nothing without man, then you must become everything you are capable of. Initiate yourself. Face solitude, face pain, face rejection, build discipline, build strength, build order. Let her drama rage, let her tears fall. You stand. You become the center, the axis, the unmoved mover. Only then do you possess a soul of your own. The war is eternal. Masculine order versus feminine chaos. Creation versus reflection. Law versus mood. If men abdicate, chaos wins. If men stand, order prevails. You are not here to be a servant to the void. You are here to shape it, to fill it, to command it. Do not hate woman for her nature. Do not despise the void. Fill it, own it, command it. This is the only path to greatness. The world will call you toxic. Women will call you arrogant. Weak men will call you cruel. Good. Let them. You are not here to be liked. You are not here to serve the nothingness. You are here to bring law, meaning, spirit, soul. Stand your ground. Refuse to apologize. Refuse to abdicate. In the end, only one question matters. Did you define reality, or did you let it be defined for you? If you made it this far, you know you are not like most men. You are ready to reject the void, to embrace your role as builder, lawgiver, creator. You are ready to join the brotherhood of men who refuse to bow to emptiness. Weininger's legacy is not for the faint of heart. It is for the few willing to bear the burden of meaning. Rise, stand. If you're ready to stand with men who refuse to serve the void, subscribe. And like if you know the world needs more order, more meaning, more men willing to build and live without apologize for their strength. This is about brotherhood, a space for men who want to define reality, not just survive it.